Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to a brand new Doctor Who review. Today, I'm going to review the Curse of Fenric. Fenric, this story, this idea, this Doctor Who story is really interesting, and to be honest, one of the best stories that I've watched in the entire season 26. So yeah, there we go. So right, the Curse of Fenric is is a story where the Doctor and Ace land in the UK, in England, in some kind of British base or something. I don't know. The Doctor wants to see like a doctor or something, or like a professor. I don't know. For some reason, he knows that man. Or well, the Doctor knows that man, but obviously that man doesn't know him. But it's getting there. The story is kind of unraveling itself. So there we go. You actually get to know this man. This man is in a wheelchair. There we go. He also has some kind of intelligence about like a computer, and yes, this is kind of set during the Second World War. So there we go. Very interesting setting. Time periods too. So there we go. The Doctor also eventually finds out that there is this church who has this priest, this pastor, I guess. This priest is really cool. I mean, to be honest, one of the greatest characters in the story. He's very touched, I guess, by the Doctor and Ace being there. He's not like, oh, my day is the Doctor and Ace. No, but he treats the Doctor like a friend or something, and also treats Ace very nicely. And I think the actor is also pretty well known. I recognize him from somewhere. I don't know, could be from somewhere. I also watched Behind the Sofa, the Doctor Who spin-off thingy that they have for some episodes from the classic Doctor Who's. Um, you know, and it's really interesting. I also watched that to have some more information about the story and the actors too, which is really interesting. And yes, this priest, the actor was talked about, so that's really nice. Also, well established actor. That's okay. So the Doctor, this priest, Ace, and also this professor. This professor is kind of delves into the languages and has a computer, so probably one of the first computers during the Second World War to encrypt German, letters and codes and stuff like that. So there we go. Really interesting. I'm also learning about that in school. So there we go. I mean, kind of fits, right? Really cool. So perfect for my history exams, I guess, or my history tests or whatever. Just why not, right? Learning something about history itself. So that's nice. So the Doctor finds these North mythology ruins. I guess, I don't know. It depicts some kind of a story about Fenric. Interesting. Yes. So the original Viking settlers that were originally on this island or this coast, I guess, let's call it coast. They had a curse with them, or they had like a curse, something like that. And the original settlers died. Obviously, those were Vikings, but the curse still lived on in this coast, I guess, on this coast. There we go. Ace also befriends some kind of two girls, and together they go to this Maiden's Point or something. And yes, the Doctor also finds out that the Vikings originally, started their adventure in this town on that point. So they started their, adventure, or their, not really like, what Vikings do. Vikings set up like a camp or something. So the first point that they touched on this new land was the Maiden's Point, but Ace is there with two new friends. And the Doctor knows, oh no, that's bad. But luckily Ace is alright. Ace just appeared just behind him, so there we go. But those two girls are still over there, so that's interesting. So the curse might be over there somewhere, or some kind of beginning of a curse. There we go. So eventually there are also Russian spies, I guess. Very interesting. What Second World War that could count, that would fit right in the story. Just Russian spying on English people. They actually also become good and work alongside the Doctor and Ace. That's nice. Ace also, I think, becomes in love with one, like the sergeant or something. But okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Eventually, let's go back to those two girls. Those two girls, not the same exact moment, but moments later, they go back to this point to swim again in that water, and yes, they get, pulled into the water by mist or something, and they become some kind of beacons, I guess, for the curse of Fenric. Like, the two girls with long fingernails, so like kind of guardians or protectors, or I don't know. And they go on land to find this priest or something. They go to many people. They go to their original mom's house, or some kind of like woman's house where they live, but they're now bad, so they're bad now, and they kill that woman. So there we go. They also find that priest. They also want to eliminate that priest, but he says something, and they go away. There we go. But they'll come back for him eventually. There we go. So the doctor, let's skip a bit. The doctor and Ace discover this basement, I guess, with more Norse ruins, I guess. There we go. The Russians and the English have a bit of a fight, and Ace also encounters this woman with a baby. Oh, interesting. And that was a really nice detail, but look, okay, I'll tell you later. So the English, the Russians know, the English know that the Russians are here. The doctor knows the Russians are here. The professor and his lieutenant or something, I don't know, get along with each other. But that lieutenant gets like bad in a way. He has a trippy German room, and I know the doctor said, you know what, this is because he wants to think like the Germans, but still, Hitler was on the wall, so that was not really that pleasant to see. But I think as for like story itself, the setting, the location, it fits all together very nicely. So there we go. So the doctor and Ace find this basement even further, even with two Russians, so the Russians are helping. And yes, those two girls, like I said, that were being the guardians, let's say the guardians of Curse of Fenric, have troops now, and those troops are actually following the doctor and Ace into this bunker, or this sewers or something. And yes, the Ace and the doctor get out, but the two Russians stay there to protect the doctor and Ace. There we go. And what else? I think, yes, the sergeant gets mind controlled, so he's bad now. But the guy in the wheelchair also gets bad. There we go. And the woman with the baby gets out of there. Ace says, okay, you need to get out of here with the baby. But that baby is actually Ace's mother that she actually hates. And it's all connected, and I love it, man. I love it. It's all connected in a way. And yeah, that was like a really interesting turning point. I was like, oh damn, that's really nice. That was literally my reaction. I was like, oh, okay, this episode is really interesting. And this is also one of the most favorite episodes of Sophie Aldred and also Sylvester McCoy, who played the seventh and Ace respectively. So there we go. That's really interesting. It's a good story. I like it. So yes, the Curse of Fenric gets defeated. The Russians are the Russian soldier or the Russian sergeant also gets mind controlled, and there's this the ancient one, this big humanoid. Wait, what was the name again of those aliens or those curse people? Humanarian or something. I don't know. This blue kind of people who kind of reminded me of Davy Jones' crew of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I mean, they look like fishy and very aquatic, I guess. So there you go. Yes, brilliant. The Curse of Fenric gets eliminated. The Doctor needed to play a game of chess with this enemy that he encountered 17 centuries ago. So I guess it's an old Doctor Who villain, I suppose. But I'm not quite sure if we've seen him before. Probably no, but still, the Doctor eventually defeats him, and Curse of Fenric no more. But the Curse of Fenric is such a powerful title. Like the Curse of Fenric, it is really original. It's literally what the episode is all about. And I think they had like the Waters of Fenric at first for like a title idea. I also watched some behind the scenes interviews that they included with this episode, which is really nice. I have the season 26 collection, so a few interviews are on there about the writer. And I thought, Curse of Fenric is like a beautiful, perfect title for this episode. And got to be honest, like this was my second last series, season 26 story. The next one is survival, and I think the Curse of Fenric is already one of my favorites. Like it is very ground based. Like there's not a lot of like sci-fi elements. There's not like a spaceship. It's about a curse that Vikings made, or a curse that followed the Vikings to this new ground, the new settlers of this place, and it's a very Vikingish place, right? So the first episode that I watched of season 26 was more like about Arthurian folklore, so King Arthur, Morgan Le Fay, but this was more about like the North mythology, North in you know, inspirations, right? And I really thought that was really interesting because I really also like Norse mythology, and I liked it a lot. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Goodbye, everyone, or should I say, Doctor, I let you go. Bye bye, everyone.